So I'm going to go in and do a combination of blurs with the blur gallery. So I'll go here and I'm going to duplicate this layer. And I'm going to convert to smart object. And then I'll go filter blur gallery. I'll start off with fill blur. And let's just kind of play around with this just a little bit here. So I've got this set up to here. Maybe this is going to be my basic. So I want everything to have a little bit of a blur. But let's say I want less stuff blurry in the center. So I could turn on my iris blur and I'll expand this out so I get kind of a nice oval shape. So now I've got even more blur, almost like a blur vignette in the corners. And then I'll add on the tilt shift on top of it. So with the tilt shift, I'll go kind of crazy. So now I've actually layered 3 levels of blur onto this thing. So you can kind of see how crazy blur it's getting. And I'm going to go ahead and up my amount of noise here to kind of help. And I will click OK. So that's everything there combined. Now, if I wanted to make one area kind of masked out, so I'll click on my mask that's with this, and I'm going to come down here and just sort of trace. So I could make individual push pins, maybe the ones that are right kind of towards the surface. And I could do this to really mess around with what's in focus and kind of play around with certain areas being more in focus than others. So it's going to really be kind of a fun, almost like three-dimensional look depending on how I do it. So I could kind of mimic all sorts of allowing certain areas to come more and more to the front. So so I could make these push pins, little bits of them come forward by having them less blurry if I wanted to kind of take the time here. And if I really want to do it, I could lower down the opacity so that I've got a little bit more allowing. And stuff is starting to come out of the depths, so to speak. And I could have a really kind of fun level of stuff coming out of the blur. So this would be before, this would be after, and I'm using all sorts of combinations of blurs to play around with.